Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the demo of 11. 11 is currently on GameFound. It's from Portal Games, who you may know from Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on the Cursed Island, but this is a Euro-style engine builder type game where you are simulating the management of a European football team, so soccer for those of you in America. And so, very different from anything else they've ever created, but supposedly this is kind of like a not fan made, but like a game created by an amateur called Club Stories that became very famous. I think it was like a print and play that you could do for it, but the Portal Games loved it, and they basically said, let's make a bigger, better version. And so now they're putting it on GameFound to raise some money. So it's already been successful. I feel like it's going to be super successful because this fits a niche that does not really have a lot of games that are like sports simulations, but like the management side of sports simulations, which I think a lot of people really enjoy. So let's just kind of dive right in here. I actually am starting this playthrough midway through the game because I wanted you guys to see kind of what the game looks like further on. I watched Rado's run through, and he only played through like the first 2 weeks of the game, first 2 rounds essentially, and then he stopped. And there is a full playthrough, a couple full playthroughs on there. I'm not going to do a full playthrough. I just kind of wanted you guys to see the meat of the game. And hopefully rounds 4 and 5, especially round 5 for me, because that's where my main objective comes in, is going to be very exciting. Normally the game is played over 8 weeks, and you basically get like 3 to 6 actions each week, depending on the resources you can put together. And then you play this little mini simulated match, and you basically try and score the most points. So, how do you score points? Well, you can see here that, let's just pop this out. You can see here that I have season goals. So this scenario 1 is simulating an 8-week season. And I need to make it to at least 24. This symbol here that looks kind of like a trophy is victory points. 24 victory points. That puts me at the level of inexperienced manager. If I don't, I'll get fired. If I get relegated, I'll be fired. And it says down here, if your team is last, you are fired. Or it says that somewhere. Basically, maybe it's in the rule book, but if you are at the end of the standings, you get relegated. If you've watched Ted Lasso, you'll know that's what happens. Anyways, you can earn additional victory points by training 3 youngsters. So I've actually trained 2 at this point. And play at least 3 games in a sold-out stadium. That means we have 4 stands each where we're putting, during game, 4 fans into those stands. We've done that once now. Unfortunately, there's no real good way to track this, but it told us unique setup. Here, fierce competition. Captain of a sinking ship. Okay, so here it is. If you are at the bottom of the league, you are relegated. And then there's some playoffs stuff, which we're not going to get to. So that is essentially the setup for this particular scenario and what we're going towards. We also have a, if we look at this more closely here, okay, it's going to stay over there. And my picture is covering it up. So let's drag it out here and take a look at it. There we go. All right. So you can see that there is... I know it's being cut off by the bottom of my screen here, but you can see there is an objective and a way to do it perfectly. So I drew 2 objectives at the beginning of the game, and I got to choose one. And so this one says win the match in week 5. So that's next week. That's going to be our rival. I don't know who exactly that is, but due to the random missile card draw, they don't tell you a specific team. They just give you a specific week. So we have to win next week. If we do, we get 2 victory points. If we can do it with plus 3 goals, we get 2 more. So there's 4. Train 3 youngsters is 4. And fill the stands 3 times. That's 4. That's half of our victory points, right there that we need to get. We need to get to 24, and that's 12. The other way we can get there is by winning matches. And this board that's turned sideways, I don't know why they have it turned sideways here in the TTS version of the demo, but this is us. This is the yellow marker. You can see here we match this marker. We're not doing so good. We have lost once and drawn twice, tied twice. So we have 2 points. You can see BFC here has 9. Basically, they've won 3 times. These guys have like won twice and drawn once, I think. Yeah. So basically, you get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, nothing for a loss. So we're really only beating here Middleham local club, and we're tied with the Blackston Kings. Other than that, we suck. So we definitely need to make sure we stay ahead of these 2 guys. I'm sure we're not catching these guys. So, but every point you reach here, so if we could get to here, that's 12 points right there. We're probably going to get somewhere in this area. Who knows? But this is victory points. You're also gaining victory points. For example, here I built these 2 levels of stands. So these are 2 victory points. There's victory points all over the place. So that's how you get to 24. So we're well on our way. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the crux of the game here and show you guys how to play. So this actually needs to be right here. So it is Monday. Each week you go through every day but Friday. I don't really know why there's not a Friday. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I guess Friday's your day off, and then matches on the weekend. But Monday, you do 2 things. You get your resources, you get your income and everything else, your fans for the week, and you have a board meeting. So we look down here at the board here, and you can see this is the resources I carried over. Normally, you only get to carry over 1 of the green, blue, and red, which is fans, operations, and fitness. But my GM here, or one of my directors, says I can keep up to 3 fans per week instead of just 1, because she's a social media expert. So that's why I already have 2. But I'm about to get 4 more. So let's just do this the easy way. 2, 3, 4. 4 more fans. You can see here we are getting 3 operations. 1, 2, 3, and I believe 6 fitness. I think we have a ton of fitness. Yes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom! Look at that giant tower. I don't know why that flew over there. Okay. So we've got our giant tower of fitness cubes here. There we go. All right. Lots of fans. So we're doing okay. We're just not doing well in the actual playing of the games. So that was gain your resources. I was actually up here at 4, but you can see every time you win, lose, or draw a match, you have to suffer consequences, and that could be injuries. You're more likely to get injured if you play harder. But I actually rolled here on my draw. I rolled this symbol, which means I lost an operational production. Anyways. All right, so we've gained our resources. Now we have to have a board meeting. So we are going to go up here, and we're going to take this top card, and we're going to bring it down here, and let's stick it up here. We'll flip it over and take a look at it. All right, so our fans say their stand is falling apart. Typo. This is a demo version. Nothing's final. Our fans say the stands are falling apart. It had been this way for years. Should we repair it? Okay, so our stadium's falling apart. That's not good. So this is a decision for the directors. As the manager, you don't get any say in what happens. So you could, just shut it down, place a penalty marker, essentially, on any one of the stands. This would not be good because we are trying to fill our stands for at least 2 more games to meet one of our objectives. Okay, just repair what we can afford. Lose all but 1 credit, which you can see I have a fairly good amount of credit. That's the one thing I'm not sour for. So blue would not be good either. Or yes, the fans must be happy. So we gain 1 fan production but lose 2 money production. So you can see here that the gray pounds symbol is the symbol for just a single money unit, whereas money production is technically the gray pound symbol surrounded by a yellow circle. So none of these are very good. Some of these board meeting ones are okay. Some of them are just awful. Some of them have a pretty good range, but again, you don't have a say. This is a big random in the game, and I don't know how I feel about how this is so random. But we basically are going to roll this die here. I have to use it this way because if I press the R button, I stop my recording. So we rolled a 3. So how do we decide what the directors are going to do? We look at their cards here, and you can see these die symbols represent the colors on this card. And so we have a blue, we have a blue 3, and we have a yellow 3. So the directors voted 2-1 in favor of the blue. So they are going to, unfortunately, repair all that we can afford. So I'm going to lose all my money. And unfortunately, I don't have any say in this as a manager. So let's get rid of this card here, flip it over, stick you right there, and we are losing all of this money. Watch it go. Watch it go. Oh, it's so painful. So painful. All right, that was rough. That was a rough start to the week. I do not like Mondays. All right, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we get to take our actions. Normally, you only get to take one action per day of the week, but you can spend these operational resources to take a second action. Now, you can't just spend a bunch of them. You can only take up to 2 actions if you spend the operational resource. But we get at least 1 free action. So, well, I can't hire any players. I can't hire any staff. I could use a little money, but I also want this to be at a 5. So I'm going to take an action of trying to increase these stats, which is pretty straightforward. But to do that, I'm actually going to take one of my staffer's actions here, and let's take a look at his card. So when I hired him, I got that bonus action. Now we're done with him. But you can see the word action here. So I'm taking this action. I can roll to increase a stat, which is what I'm going to do. If I am successful, I get to gain 1 money. It's not a lot, but it's something. So what I want to do here is increase my operational stat. And so I'm going to roll this d6 and hope that I roll a 3 or better, which should be okay. If I roll a 1 or 2, I have failed, but I have some backup plans. So let's go ahead and roll this sucker again. Shit. This is not my week, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so it's a 2, so I've failed. But one of the things you can do with your fans is boost your morale, and so I can actually spend a fan token to re-roll a die. So let's re-roll this one again. Come on, baby. All right, 6. I don't get any bonuses for 6, but I get to move this up. And since I used his action, which we will flip him over because you can only use each staff once per week, I get to gain a second money. All right. Okay. So let's see. Who could we even afford? Increase by 1 if you have enough to finish it. Hire any player from the display. When you hire a youngster, gain a fan. Remove any injury token from a player. All right. So this is our board of options here that we can choose from. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to take a second action, spend 2 of my green tokens. I have some sponsors here, and you can see that I already have 1 t-shirt sponsor and 1 billboard sponsor. Now you have 3 options for every sponsor here, and this City Connect card is technically my discard pile, but we'll just actually flip this. Yeah, this is the discard row. But when we hired that other one as our t-shirt sponsor or made a deal with them, we've got this bonus here, which would have been, if this was our t-shirt, 1 credit plus 1 increase in credit production. plus this bonus action here. So for every stadium infrastructure, gain 1. If, however, you just want to put them up on a billboard, you don't want to make them your t-shirt sponsor, you just want to have an ad at the top of the stadium, you get to either choose this middle section here or the bonus action. I really like the way they have set up the sponsor aspect, because the sponsor aspect is how you get your main money. It doesn't cost anything. You're making a deal and they give you money, but you have these choices. Or you could simply put them in a radio commercial or talk about them during the game, announce that they're a sponsor. You only get this option. You don't get to choose this option. So are you going to make them a billboard sponsor, t-shirt sponsor? And once you have set them up, you cannot replace these. So I cannot just switch from Sport Fun to Basic Bratwurst as my t-shirt sponsor mid-game. So I have picked Sports Fun. I'm stuck with them for the remainder of the season. But you can see also here, emergency employment does not even have the option of a billboard. There's no, we either want to be on your t-shirt or just talk about us, and we'll make it cheaper. Or like these guys here. I really want to see what the Bratwurst t-shirt would look like. I'm hoping that they like beef up this artwork a little better, because all the shirts basically, look the same. This is basically just clip art. They could do better than this. But, so I need some money. But what I really need is this right here. So the question is, can I put these guys as a billboard and just claim this? If this is what I want. Okay. So let's just review the rule book here real quick. Let's go to hire a sponsor. Let's pop you out. So let's take a look here. Contract with a sponsor. Then apply the effect from the chosen section and place the card in it. Ad board. Sponsor cards must be slipped face up under the stadium board so the pictures on the cards. You can have 2 ad board sponsors until you build the 3rd ad board. If you already have a contracted maximum number of sponsors of a certain type, you cannot reassign them. Yeah, we already know that. All right. Contract effects. Each sponsor card provides different effects depending on the type of contract. You always have to resolve all the effects. Some of them may be negative. Okay, so I think there's nothing in here that says I can't just take these guys and I have to take this bonus action. So this is what I really need right now. I really need the green production. So I'm going to take a bonus action. I've already used 1 action to increase this. And I'm going to take a 2nd action. So I'm actually going to have to spend 2 resources here to make emergency employment a ad sponsor here. I guess seeing they don't belong. I don't not like this locking setup they have. Technically this should slide under your board. Technically this should fit more nicely so that it fills in the other t-shirt here, but TTS is, they're like have the locks down funky, so we're just throwing this down here. But I get to gain 2 operational resources and gain 1 operational production. So now I'm where I want to be. Perfect. This has been a very productive day, in my opinion. The week started off bad, but I'm feeling better about it. All right, so then we move on to Wednesday. So, again, I get 1 action. And let's see. Whoa. So here we have our staff. Here we have our regular players. You have some veterans here. And actually this guy should be one. I've not been moving this pile up. I'm on my 4th thing here. So these are like my discard piles, because you slough off the top one. So you always have one veteran you can choose from and one youngster you can choose from. And then you have this slew of other players. This is my discard row. And this should be moved over now. But these star areas, like Jackie's Burgers or Fly Fair, I feel like they definitely could do better with this logo here. You always have the option to choose from these three here. Some staff may allow you to recruit from these other areas. So, but for right now, looking at these guys here, you may move corresponding jersey marker to, okay. So this guy's really nice. And I already have one of these guys on my team as a number 11, and I can only have one jersey number. All right, so I've got a 10, a 6, a 4, a 3, a 2. I don't already have an 11. And you can see I already have one of these guys who, if you put enough fitness resources on them, they score a goal automatically. But I also need to train 3 youngsters, but this guy's almost too good to pass up. But I also don't have the money to hire him. He's not going away. So maybe we'll wait and aim to get him in the next round. So what's interesting about solo plays, normally in a solo game, you have a simulated AI, who's like messing with you, taking cards away from you. They don't really have that yet, which I'm enjoying the game either way without it. But it is interesting to note that I could just sit here and wait and know that Hernandez is not going anywhere. I'll lose Christensen at the end of the round, but Allard and Hernandez and then Harris will all be available. So I can really plan my, strategy out. So I guess we're going to go for Baker at a 1. What I really need is someone else who can train people. Hire any player from the display, place 1 temporary. See, like this guy, who's a scout, but I can't hire him yet. Hire a youngster, train a youngster. See, I need Jin Lee here, but I can't hire those guys yet. But I do need to hire up and train 3 youngsters. So let's go ahead and just pay for you. All right. So we are going to put him over here on our player board. Now let's look at this card real quick for a second so you guys can understand what this other stuff means. So the -1 money, that's how much we had to pay for him. That's pretty obvious. The soccer ball symbol means he is a goal scorer. He's an offensive-minded player, not a defensive-minded player. The symbol then of the field below him tells me that he plays as a forward. He's not a midfielder, and he's not a defender. So depending on where the shaded area is, that's where he's got to play. So that's why I've placed him up here next to Nelson. Also, he has a power strength of 1. Hopefully, once we train him, that will increase. But when you are comparing them against the other team, basically it's higher number wins, tie goes to the defender. So let's talk about the other team as well. So this is our scouting report on the team that we have this information as we're going through the week. This team has been playing in the league now for 3 years without big success. So they're not a very good team, I'm hoping. Their biggest star is their central forward, young and charismatic. So again, I don't really know what the young and the charismatic could give us, but central forward is key. And then they play a 4-3-3. So they're actually going to have 4 defenders up here on the top row, then 3 players, then 3 players. So they're going to have 4 numbers up here, then 3 numbers here, then 3 numbers here. And we know that their best scorer, so I need to put my best defender here in the center defenders section, which right now is Johansson. I could make it Peterson though. I could jump him up there. I'm wondering. See, I think I can look. I'm not 100% sure about the rules of this, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, see, I want to get him trained up. So let's figure out how to train a player here. All right, so I hired a player. That was my one action. I do need to lose 1 credit because that's what it takes to hire a rookie. Not much money. So I've hired a rookie we've talked about, and all of these tokens here are going to be moved around on the weekend spot on match day. All right, but let's go ahead and spend 2 more of these resources here to take our first trainer action here, which you can see is train a player, then you may place one from the supply on his player card. So technically you have to pay the resource, but then you're immediately turning around and placing it on the card. So it's basically like a free action. So I spend my 2 resources. This would go into the supply, but then I would pull one from the supply and put it on him. But I get to flip him over first. So boom. All right. So now, previously I was having to pay for Johansson. I would have had to pay green resources for him to be able to flip. But what this means is he's typically a defender. But if I just happen to place him in an area where I don't need him as a defender, he has to play back here. But if their best players are up here and I can't use them up there, I can actually have him score, which is nice. And I can do that for free, and I can do that after the other team has revealed their players. So that's kind of like the bonus I was working towards here. But this number 4 is what I'm really going for, and him being number 4 means that I will definitely be placing him in the midfield here. All right, but we'll figure all that out later. All right, so that was my bonus action. I also used this guy's thing, so we are done there. All right. All right. So, can't do anything else on Wednesday. It is now Thursday. So, what do we want to do for Thursday? I could really use some money. Then what? Fans to money? Ooh, I do like that. But this costs 3 money to implement. I could get my other app, but again, I don't have the money. I could try and increase these stats. What I don't know is how to get a new tactics card. It does not say this in the rule book, but there's got to be a way to get a new tactics card. If we go up here to the... What happened to my rule book? I lost the rule book. Oh well. All right, we're flying blind here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It doesn't tell you how to gain a new tactics card. I wonder if just as an objective you can gain a tactics card. So I guess we're going to go ahead and take her action here. Place 1 permanent on any youngster. So let's grab one of these. I have determined, even though it does not state in the rule book. Let's put you... Do I want to have harder defense? See, I can't remember who my... Yeah, this guy. Okay, so this guy... I believe the 1 bar is representative of the youngsters, 3 bars is the veterans, and no bars is just a regular player. But I'm pretty sure that the whistle side means that it's temporary, and... Whoops. I didn't want to flip the card. I wanted to flip this. This means it's permanent, so it gets to stay there. So he's permanently a 2. So I have a 4-2-2 defense, which is okay. All right. Let's see here. There's really not much else I want to do. Can't turn this into anything. And we use this girl, so let's flip her over. All right. So let's now... I could have spent these 2. I'm going to get to carry over 1. But there's really no other action I can afford to take unless I want the money. Do I blow these right now to get just a tweet sponsor? And they're all 5. I know these guys are 5. Build a stands for free. Nope. Gain the tweet bonus. So let's do that. I like this better. All right, so we are going to give a shout out to Basic Bratwurst. To my knowledge, you don't put this anywhere. You just kind of get to throw it over here, but I'm going to get 5 money for saying that I'm going to talk about them. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there we go. Knock those over. Okay, so I feel like that was worth it. Get my money back up since my board of directors spent it all last time. Okay, so back over to the weekend. We have already read the scouting report. We know they're going to play a 4-3-3. So more than likely, most of these 4 players back here are going to be defenders. But they have been known to... and see, again, I like how simple this is. I don't mind the comparing of stuff, but the fact that I can't move them around at all once a game starts is a little frustrating. So let's just show you how it's done here. I basically have to keep my jerseyed players. So like this guy has to be a forward. This guy has to be a midfielder. And then 2, 3, 4 have to be back here. So question is, there's only going to be 3 guys. Are they going to be spread out across? It's a crapshoot. And 3 guys here. So question is, where are those 3 guys going to be? And then, I definitely want. Stop it. I definitely want these 2 guys attempting to score. The question is, so they're probably going to have 1, 2, and 1. Where are their best defenders going to be? Are they going to be on the wings, or are they going to be in the center? I can actually pack a 3rd person in here. Oh my God, stop it. All right. So I can put up to 3 people in each zone, 5 here, 5 across here. All right. So this is the tough part. I don't know whether these guys are like to play along the left side of the field or right side of the field. But this just is what we're going to do. So the only hint that I am given is that I know there's going to be 4 players in this section, 3 here and 3 here, and I know their best scorer is pretty much their central forward. So I have put my best defender, Johansson, here in this area. All right. So in order to, before I even get ahead of myself, in order to get all these people to play, they need to have a blue cube on them. So Johansson already got one because we trained him up. And Peterson here, when I trained him earlier, I put a blue cube on him, and I could not find out whether, because then he got suspended, and so he actually couldn't play. I put him off the side, and I wasn't 100% sure, since I didn't use him and spend the blue cube, I just held on to it. This may be wrong, and again, this is a demo version, so the rules have not been super clear, but essentially what I need here is 1, 2, 3, 4 more blue cubes. I got plenty. All right. So let's drag over 4 more, and let's pass these out. So you get a cube, you get a cube, you get a cube, and you get a cube. Now, if I want Nilsson to guarantee to score a goal, I need to give him another one. So perfect. I get to keep that one, but we're going to give him a second one. Boom. So now you know where your fitness cubes are being spent. All right, so I get to play all of my star players. All these other jersey numbers that don't match up here are just basic unnamed players, and they have a strength of 1. And then we also need to put fans in the stands. Luckily, we did not lose our stands, and so this will be our 2nd week of filling up our stadium. Boom, boom, boom. And all of these guys will turn into money at the end of the week. All right, so we basically have set up for our match. This is how you set up the match. And now we get to, let's put this over here, flip this over, and they are revealed what they are doing. So you can see here that here's their 4, 3, and 3. And they actually did play heavy on their right side. So they've got a lot of right wingers in every area of the field. And so I put a lot of my defenders over there. But you can see here that one person, that one in the upper right corner, technically their left defender, with a strength of 1 is going to score like on a field goal kick, basically. This kind of bothers me because thematically this would never happen. I guess technically this could be saying that he would come up, because defenders do come up. They come up to usually midfield at least. He could come up and score on a set play or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of that makes sense here. But essentially at this point now we're just going to go section by section and compare scorers to defenders. So let's go ahead and do that. So up here we have a 2 defender. Well, we didn't put anybody here, so that 2 defender didn't do anything. Then in the middle I have 3 strikers in the middle, and they have 2 defenders. So I was correct in that assumption that they would spread their people out, and I've packed it in. And so we take our highest versus their highest. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Or maybe I get to choose, I don't know. But I have a 1 here, and so 11 is a 1, strength of 1. Nelson here is a strength of 2, and this is a strength of 1. So I get to automatically score 1 with Nelson because I paid the extra cube. And one of these guys is definitely going to score, even with a strength of 1. Now, the question is that do I have to, I can't remember if this is stated in the rules, do I have to compare my highest versus their highest, or do I get to choose? I feel like getting to choose is a little too cheeky, a little too easy, especially when playing solo. What's interesting is that even if you play multiplayer, you still do your games this way. You don't play PvP in the game mode. You always are playing a random opponent. You're simply just trying to win your match each time. And the only player interaction in this game is fighting over the cards, the staff, the sponsors, and the players. Because you take your actions one at a time, and somebody might steal that player from you. So this game really is set up nicely to be a solo game. But so after we've resolved all of this, here we move on to the forward here. And again, his strength of 1. I did not put a defender up here. Why would I? This guy is going to score a goal. All right. So then we look here, and we have our 8. This is an unnamed player. He's a strength of 1. They have a strength of 1 defender. They just stood there and shook hands. Said, hey, how's it going? All right. Then they have 2 goal scorers here in their midfields, and one is a strength of 2 and one is a strength of 1. Well, I only have a strength of 1 defender. Now I think this is where I get to choose who I set my defender up against. I'm not going to send this defender up against the level 2 scorer because he would get juked out and break his ankles and he would fall down, but he can run up and defend this 1. So he's blocking the 1, but the 2 is going to score. So it's now a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. It's so tight. It's so tight. I wish I could talk better with an English accent like they do and talk about how beautiful the pitch is and he runs like a dream and, talk like those football announcers. Okay. But we've looked at their scores. Well, we've got a scorer here too. Barbo here, who's a strength of 3. They don't have any defenders, nor do they have a defender for this guy. So both of them are actually going to score. Boom, boom. And then we come down here. And my 2, which is I don't know why this text is in the way, but I realize that you guys can't really see this card very well. So my apologies here. This 2 is Peterson here, and Peterson is going to block this guy because he's a 2 and this is a 1. So, but those are defenders. See, why did they throw a defender way up front? Again, it just doesn't. There's something a little bit off. I really like where they're going with this, but something's a little off. Needs some tweaking. But again, this is the demo version, so good, they got time. All right, so we go here, and we've got a 1 and a 3 defender. Well, unfortunately, this is where I wish I could have. Maybe a tactics card does allow you to do this, which would be nice. But again, how do you get more tactics cards? I already played my 1. I wish I could just shift 1 player, and I would have shifted this guy over, and his 2 would have beaten this guy, and Johansson here can beat this guy, but instead Johansson's going to block one of them. He's better than both of them, but one of them is going to score. Boom. And then Heineken here is doing nothing. So, but that's the game. We actually won a game. I actually won a game for the first time. I have been successful. So, there's a few things we need to do. First is we're going to get rid of that card. Then we can reset all these here. And we have to remove all of these. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this stays. And since I have trained up my rookie, I get to put a victory point here for him actually having played a game. Now, the other one is for him scoring a goal. And I don't know how somebody with a defensive symbol would ever be allowed to score a goal. But it's there. It's an option. But I've scored 1 VP. It's my first one. But I also get to come over here and go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stick this up here because I'm going to move all of these tokens here in a second. All right. But I finally won a game. And who are we even playing? BFC. We just need to make sure. Oh, here. Look at that. BFC was winning. That's a little crazy. This is another section of random dice rolling, as you literally could roll everyone else's winning, which does not make sense thematically because not everybody can win. But we do know that BFC is not going to move because they lost. We played them, so all these other tokens we're going to roll randomly for to decide whether they win, lose, or draw. But BFC doesn't get to move. So I, third place, third from the bottom team, took down the Titan who is at the front of the league, which that is exciting in and of itself. But the fact that their cards stated, oh, they're not very good, but they're winning, something's off. All right. So, we need to do a few things here. I lose these fans, boom, 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 but they turn into 4 money. They each came, they each bought a ticket, they each drank some beer, bought some souvenirs, stuff like that. Okay. I can also flip these people over, boom, boom, boom. Now we need to do a lot of housekeeping stuff here. So first of all is we need to have match consequences. So you can see here that winning, we actually have more risk of injury because they played harder. But if we can roll the top half of the numbers, everything's a positive. Whereas here, losing, there's a lot more negative options. Drawing, there's even more negative. Losing, you basically lose a lot of fans. But I've got 1 fan cube here I can use to re-roll. So let's go ahead and re-roll. I'll roll this die out and hope for a... So what this would normally say is that we have 1 week of injury. The only thing I could do worse than that is a roll of 1. So let us spend this fan token to boost our morale and try again at these consequences. All right. So we have to come over here and get an injury token. And it's actually going to have to be 2 of them. And I have to decide who I'm going to injure. I want to train this guy up and then have him play. I also want to be able to train this guy up. This guy, yeah, Peterson is now injured. So I'm going to slide him over there so I don't remember. And actually, he is injured for 2 weeks. So he's had a rough season. I keep picking on him. All right, but that's fine. All right, we've had our match consequences. Now we need to decide figure out where everyone else is gone. So There's not a really strict way of doing this in the rule book, so I just kind of go down the line here, and I start with the people in the front. But we know we don't move these guys because they lost us, so let's go with the bulls. And again, there's 3 different colored die. Why does it matter? They're all the same, right? I mean, just thematically, I guess you could have, if you were playing multiplayer, other people roll for other dice, but we are going to go ahead and roll them out based on the color. So lose now, according to that objective card, the first time you roll a loss, which is why so many of these guys are beating me, you get to re-roll it. All right, so it's a draw, so they got 1 point. Then let's go to cornfield here and roll, and they got a draw. And then we come back to a red. Downtown United did a draw. SFC got a win. 1, 2, 3. So they jumped up into second. And the Dafton United, I like Dafton. I like their logo. They also got a draw. All right. And so we can park ourselves back down there now. Everybody jumped ahead of us. All right. And then these last 2 guys here, Blackston Kings, draw, and draw. So that thematically works out a lot. There was a lot of draws. Basically, everybody drew except for one team won. Somebody should have gotten a loss, and we won, and they got a loss. All right. But, again, I'm okay with this setup. I don't understand why there's 3 different dice, though. I understand why it's unique, but why are there 3 different colors? I guess you could change it so that the blue teams are always better. I don't know. All right. So last thing we need to do is do this maintenance here, which I forgot to bump us up. So we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Whoop. And 2 stadium upgrades, so that didn't move, and 3 staff, so that didn't move. So we have 1 red, and then that one's a red, so 2, and then I'm assuming we count everything below 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have to spend 7 money to pay my players and keep everybody else happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I get to carry 1 blue one over. I don't have any fans to carry over. But we won. We won. And we're now, we just have to train up to, we've got our 3 youngsters on the team. We just need to train up 2 of them and fill up the stands one more time and win this week. So we're going to come back here to Monday. I'm going to play through this round a lot more quickly because it should not take you 48 minutes to play through a single week. So let's get our resources. We're getting 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. Just wrecked that. All right, and 4 fans. No red cubes. 1, 2, 3 more, and 5 operations. So let's grab you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like how they just stack up on each other. All right, and 6 fitness. So lots of fitness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop being so perfect. Stop landing so perfectly. All right. So we've got our production phase. Now we need to have a board meeting. Let's flip you over and just come right here and flip. All right, Megacorp. Our sponsor wants our team to play against their clients. Should we do such a thing? Yes, it will boost our finances. Choose a player. +3 money. Choose a player. Put 2. Oh. Okay, not now. Maybe during winter break. Okay, and no sponsor shouldn't have that much influence. Lose a sponsor and pay back its effects if possible. Interesting. Wonder how that works. Like if I pay back emerging employee, can I get away with not having to pay this? So let's find out what they're deciding. Again, none of these are good. 3, which is blue, blue, yellow. So we come back here to blue is you get 1 money, choose a player, put 1 suspension on his card. I'm actually okay with that because, again, I'm picking on Peterson. There is nothing, at least in the rule book so far, that says I cannot suspend an injured player. So, sorry, guy. There you go. Piling it on him. Okay, let's move over to Tuesday. Let's take some actions. I definitely want to train some people up here. So, yeah, I need to train a youngster. So I'm going to pull this over and flip. Let's have a better score. So I'm going to train you up. Boom. And you get this automatically. And when being sold, don't get any money. Okay, I'm not planning on selling you. So yeah. All right, so we used him up. That was our 1 action. Let's go ahead and spend 2 more to take another action. And, oh, I forgot to move all these cards over. That's the last thing you do at the end of a round is you shuffle all these people over. Oh, there's only so many veterans here. Shuffle. Alright, so we get new veterans. This guy comes up, okay. So, where do I need people? I could use people in the midfield. I could use someone like this guy that can switch in the midfield. That would be nice. Or even a striker that can switch if I needed to. I don't appear to have any of those. I did want to get Hernandez, though. So let's go ahead. I already spent my green cubes. Let's... Wait, do I already have an 11? Because I can only play... Yes. See, I'm not going to be able to play my rookie. Because you can only have 1 number. So I can't necessarily do this in good faith unless I choose not to play my rookie this turn. This guy's a little bit more expensive, but he's a little bit better right off the bat. And I don't have to pay for him, so maybe we'll go for this guy. Do I have the money? Yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit in the end. But we got to win week 5. Let's look at our scouting report here. Figure out where we need to be. All right, the Blackston Kings, who are at the bottom of the standings, but you never know what's going to happen. The coach managed to bring a very focused and fit team on the pitch this season. Defense and wings are their specialties. They play a 4-4-2. All right, so I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of holes in the middle of the field. And my defense is okay. I could use a midfield defender, maybe. These guys are on this. See, again, this would be nice. It'd be nice to have this 3 defender up front to take out one of those random guys who are going to score, but I never know where I would put him, and I can't shift him around afterwards. So all right, am I gonna have enough fitness? I need to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I want to boost anybody, I'm gonna need to spend a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would need to find fitness somewhere. If I hire anybody else, which I could just do this right here. Alright, so yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That's going to give me some victory points at the end of the game. So, training facility, boom. I get 2 more of this. Alright, so that was my bonus action, right? Pretty sure it was. Okay, Wednesday. What's our one action want to be? I guess let's do her to spend 1 fitness. We'll get rid of this one over here, and I get to permanently let's add one of you. Where do I want to add somebody? Actually, keeping you right here is not that bad. Solid defense, 3 and a 4 since I lost this guy. Okay, all right, and it had to be on a youngster, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, place 1 permanent on any youngster. Okay, so we increased him. I can do another one. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Boom, boom. And yeah, let's hire that veteran that we were talking about. Here we go. All right. Oh, no, but he's a 10 also. And he's a 10. See, I cannot. I already have a 3. 22. What I really want is a midfielder. I lost this guy. I can't get this guy yet. Scout, hire any player from the display. Place 1 temporary on his player card. So I could grab this guy and then decrease by 2 any opponent midfielder. See, this would be good. Alright, so maybe we do that. Let's hire this guy for 1 more money. I don't think there's a limit on how many, or maybe it's like 5 staff. So we're going to lose 1 money. Alright, and that was my 2 actions. And so when I go over to Thursday, I'm going to use his action, hire any player from the display. So I believe he is allowing me to pick any player here. And I'm going to take Morales here for 2. He's going in as a midfield. So I have to lose 2 money. And I get to place a temporary thing on his card. So unfortunately, I am going to be 1 thing short. So the question is, do I spend my... So watch this. All right. So I don't have any more actions. We move over here. It's time for match day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the pitch. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people I want to throw a thing on. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, no, I can do it because I got 2 bonus. I only need 1. That's right. All right, let's move you around. Let's drag all of you over here. Boom, and pass you out accordingly. All right, you get to play. 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 You get to do your thing, and you get to do your thing. Ooh, I'm feeling very good about this. Blackston Kings, remember, they are our rival, and we want to score big. We want to hold them to it. Let's put some fans in the stands, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Boom. All right, so I'm not going to have any rerolls. Boom and boom. But this is our 3rd time, we have filled up the stands, so we've completed that. So we've got 4 victory points there. I just need to train up one more youngster, and I will get that 4. And I'm about to crush this objective here to get 4 more. So their defense is tough, and their wingers are tough. So where do we put these 2 goal scorers here? 10 and 11. Let's put them on the wings, actually. Now, I cannot put multiple people on the wings, so 7 is just going to stick in the middle and hopefully draw in the defenders. Also, this guy, he gets to lose his suspension and lose one of these, but I can't use him. All right. So I'll spend that during the game. He is a 2 for right now, and they're wingers. So I want 6 and... what was this guy's number? 6 and 7. Okay. So what I need to do actually is this gets flipped. Has to bring down here, and I can send this guy up. All right, I want 6. Oh no. Okay. All right, yeah, so 6 is going to have to stay in here. We'll just keep him in the middle. Yeah, we'll do this. Set up here. 4, 4, 2. So actually don't need all these guys, which is fine. 2 actually cannot play. So I get to have another... well, okay, he can play. I'm just going to keep this jersey here, but it's not this. It's not Peterson. It's some other guy playing a 2. So I want these guys to be on the wings, and that's it. And so 2 here is... I've got a defender here and here and here, here and here. I know they've only had 2 forwards, and their specialty is in the wings. So I'm assuming these 2 guys are going to be here. So I'm actually going to leave the middle of the field right here open, and I'm going to put a defender up here, I guess. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, stop it. All right, sure. Let's see how this works out. I'm going to put you right here in the middle. Whoop. All right, so let's take a close look at this. 4, 4, 2. I was right about the wingers. I'm going to shut them down. Ooh, but their wingers are tight on defense. I should have... Their best players are wingers. All right, so I think they're going to shut me down. Geez, this is going to be a low-scoring game. All right, so we've got... Baker is a 2 to their 3, so he gets thwarted. And then I've got, ooh, look at this. 1 to 1. I'm blocking that one. This one guy, random guy, is blocking this one. Then I've got this random, because Nelson is a 10. He's a random 1 to their 3. He's blocked. Okay, that's fine. But Nelson here is automatically gets to score a goal. Boom. And he is a 2 going up against 3, so he gets thwarted otherwise. All right, but I'm still winning. I haven't scored a bunch of goals, though. I'm not going to get my perfect. All right, we go over here, and so this is what I can do, though, with Morales here. I can decrease by 2 any opponent's midfielder. I am decreasing this one, so he's technically a 0. I guess he can't go below 1, but my 5, my random 5 here, is going to be able to block him. And my 6 is going to score. I'm going out of order. Because this guy is going to block this guy, and Morales here, who is a 2, is definitely blocking this guy. All right, so we're pitching a shutout because these 2 guys are definitely blocking these 2 guys. And so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, my score differential, this is a much more akin to what a real score would be, 2-0, but I didn't get my 3 score differential. Ugh. But I got 2. I got 2 of my points. So let's just here we are. We just finished round 5, so we got 3 rounds left. I'm a little past halfway. But I essentially have 2 from my bonus card, 2 here, so 4, 6, 7. This guy would now get an 8th here for scoring, so we're up to 8. We got another victory, 1, 2, 3, so that's 8, so we would be up to 16. Plus, if we look here, we did play at least 3 games in the stand, so that's 4 more, so we're up to 20. And assuming all I have to do is train one of my youngsters, I have 3. I have to train the third one, which I know I can do with an action. I know I'm going to have the ability to do it. There is my 24. So I will at least have been successful in this scenario, assuming in round 6 I train a youngster. Now, I can push for, best manager, world-class manager. I'm assuming the higher VPs you score might help you in scenario 2, but maybe not. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 rounds, kind of in the middle of the game. You can see things got very exciting. Started off very slow, but we are definitely picking things up. I have much more of a bigger field, but I definitely have to figure out how to get some fitness out of places. My one-time building of this is gone, so I guess I'm going to have to build this to turn money into fitness to start being able to pay these players, because right now I need 8 fitness plus these 2 guys each cost a fitness, boom, boom, to do what I need to do. So 10. I need to figure out how to get to 10 fitness, but I'm only making 6 a turn. So that is definitely something to consider here. Like none of these guys, I guess like this guy gains 2 here. Okay, so I need to get like another fitness trainer. Yeah, but that is 11 by Portal Games. It's currently on GameFound. I'll put a link in the video description below, so you can check that out. Technically, it should pop up here, but it's not working, I guess. But I really like where this game is headed. Again, I feel like there's definitely some tweaks, and they seem to be very responsive on GameFound in the comment section, which I really appreciate, because there are a bunch of people either talking about how there's no goalie, and they're responsive to that. And there's a lot of people talking about how these cards here don't really make a lot of sense a lot of the times. But again, I feel like they could help out with beefing up their rulebook a little bit, even for this demo mode, because it's like, how do you get a tactics card? I would love to know that, because if a tactics card allows me to move a player around, that's definitely an action I would spend during the week to get one into my repertoire there. So I really, really, really like where they're going with this game. It is a lot of fun. There really isn't, you don't need soccer knowledge to play this game. It is a action selection engine builder game with this fun management of a team aspect to it, a little tiny side mini game, which does have its consequences. If you do poorly, you could get relegated. But as you can see, as I build up my players, winning becomes more and more easy, especially at this Division 3 level. So again, check it out on GameFound. Come check out, it's free to come play this. Anybody can come play this Tabletop Simulator demo version. The link is in the GameFound page. So I highly recommend you check it out. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I really like where they're going with this. Right now, I'm just in for the base pledge, because I want to see, I want to see where they're going to take the game. Are they going to tweak it? Is there going to be a goalie? How do you get tactics? All these questions that I've been asking, I want to see them answered before I go all in on this. But again, this is something very unique. I don't have anything like this in my collection. I don't have any type of manager game in my collection. I don't have any type of soccer game, football game in my collection. So this definitely fills a niche, which I think would be really cool. So this is, again, 11 on GameFound. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, specifically like demo versions of games on TTS, which I'm not a huge fan of playing on TTS because it's more fiddly for me, but it's a great way to show off games. So if you'd like to see more demos like this of upcoming games, please leave a comment in the section below, and we'll be sure to do more of these in the future. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.